Hello, everybody. It is I, Billy of Broomgall Yellowhammer. You also can call me Dollar Bill 84. How are you all? Ah. So, I decided I'm not going to use this anymore on my ear. Because, on one crystal, when I stream games, it's on the ear it's supposed to be. The camera, starting to talk like your world. This crystal, for some reason, it flips the image. Odd, I know. But this is my left ear. Alright? And this is where I normally have this, my left ear. But, for whatever reason, it looks like it's on this ear, which is my right ear. Now, for whatever reason in your world, it represents something that I'm not. So, I just took the earring out. So, now, I have it in this ear, fine. But then on this ear, I might as well go through some life changes. I guess that's what it's supposed to be. So, I don't know. An ear is an ear to me. I mean, well, don't take that in a weird way. So, today I am not drinking any ale or wine. This is water. It is very hot out today. I have a breeze spell going on in the cabin right now, and it feels good, but if it gets any hotter outside, I gotta invent a thing that we could tell how hot it is out there. I'll have to talk to Arcturus about that. Maybe me and him can find out, work that out. Although he'll probably want to take all the credit for himself. But I don't care. I just need the contraption. So, more stories and adventures for me today. Plus, we will be reading a story about a hero from your world. Which I would love to meet this man. His tomes are fascinating to me. I don't know if he's real or he's dead or whatever, but on the cover of this, it looks like he's dead. But I've read it and he's not. He just gets seriously injured. I'll be reading this. I won't really be showing all the pictures for certain reasons. But I will need my spectacles, but we're not going to start that just now. Let me grab my spectacles. They're on top of the top part of my desk right here. There we go. Ooh. This... More and more I look. Get to the end and... Wow, that is some suit of armor he has there. Is he a knight? Wow. We'll be reading this in a little bit. So, let's see who's in the chat so far. Oh, by the way, today you won't be seeing Hazel. It's her day off. My house is already clean. So, burping with water. Not even. Oh, it was for dinner I had some chicken, some greens, a lot of greens. I like greens. And a potato. That's what I had. It is a vegetable from the earth world called broccoli. I kind of got it in. Very good. Both steamed and raw. Also, I had some rice. I don't know why I had double the grain. Oh well. Good water. Ooh, re-spell's working. Oh, I just finished some right here. All right. These will be for sale, but not in your realm. Not in the Earth realm. These are for sale here in Voth, specifically in Morskar, specifically in this village. So if any of you are watching, which I highly doubt any of you are watching from my world, so this right here is so you can have cool air in your house during the summer, like this, for however long the summer is. You go and you take this in your house and you tap it 3 times, and then you'll have nice cool air. About, I would say, a nice spring. How would you say? You always say that you're the comfortable during the summertime is 65 degrees Fahrenheit or 75 degrees, whatever. It's going to keep it a little cool in your house. Not frigid cold, but comfortable. Like I said, you tap it 3 times. Specifically, not just grabbing it, manhandling it, or nothing like this, or doing this. You have to do it a certain way. You have to take your 2 fingers and go 1, 2, 3, like that. Then it starts. And when it starts getting to the colder months, you know, like fall, around that time, you just light a fire in your house and toss it in, and then it's done. It lasts as long as you want it to. Of course, it won't turn off unless you burn it. Tapping it again ain't gonna do nothing. It ain't gonna make it go higher. It ain't gonna make it go lower. It just goes a certain temperature, as you would say. It stays at that constant until you burn it in a fire. Just then it stops. So there's that. I'm thinking I'm going to sell that for about 10 signas to the rich, of course. But I've just been handing them out to the peasants, you know, because they need it too. doesn't really cost me anything but paper and a little bit of boodly doot, and then so I've just been giving them out. All of them got nice, cool houses now. I mean, they're working out in their fields, but when they come in, they got a nice, relaxing house. You know what I mean? So I do things for them because I feel bad for them. I mean, to be honest, I mean, the king's my friend, and I think he taxes. I mean, a little too much. To be quite honest, to me, I think tax is theft, but I'm not going to try to get political here. We know it does pay certain things, but I'm not going to get into that. But I think they go way too much. No, it's a water jug. It's a water jug. We'll put the cork in it. There. Got it from my... well, actually, I don't need any lake or stream to do it. So I can make my own water. Remember, the elements. No, I always got clean water and water to bathe. So I'm probably the best smelling guy in all of Voth. Use it practically. Alright. This one right here. This one right here. When I make these, I make them for practical use around your house. I don't make them for like to fall in love or to be brave. That stuff's crap. It don't work. Alright. This one here. What do I think about? What is this one? Yeah, I'm thinking that's how I think. So if I look like I'm dazed off at everything, yeah, I am. That one. Cool your house down. I didn't make one to warm your house because you could get firewood. Oh! This is what makes you a better cook. As long as you have this, it makes you a good cook. So, well, not as long as you have it. You could tap it 10 times. Same way as you do the other one. It's not that it makes you a good cook instantly. You still have to learn, but it makes the process easier for you. You still gotta learn. You can't just be like, now I know what to do. It's like, you just get the hang of it a lot easier, and you get better quicker. That's about it. You still gotta learn. This one. Oh, this one right here. This one's not for sale. This is a religious text. This is a prayer. I keep this to myself. Yeah. That's gonna stay right here. I don't know why that got mixed up in there. Anymore. What is... Anymore. No, wait. No. There isn't. Of course. Alright. Alright, I had to hang that back up there with the tack. Nice little item. A little metal spike. A rounded edge. You just press it right in the wood. Yeah. Oh, right here. Oh, it's good. So. Oh, it's only been 16 minutes? Oh, boy. Started at 6 o'clock. We do have clocks in our world. And 6:21 where I'm at in Morscar. Yeah, did you hear that noise? Ugh. I think I ate too much. So, yesterday, after the stream, I decided I'm going to go down to the tavern, play some cards with my friends. And of course, well, she's not here, right? I keep looking over there. Hazel went. She's part of my group. She just kind of tags along, but she's a good person. Anyways, Hazel came with me. She's like a sister to me. Hazel came. Nartlok was there. He's an orc. Sildo. Not Sildo, Silda. Well, not Silda. I always mix up his name. I've known the man for 2 years. Fjorn. Fjorn. He's a dwarf. Norfast, he's a halfling. And, Bjorn is a human. And then you have Hazel, who's human-ish. Then we're around, we're playing cards. Oh! Wow, I keep forgetting he was there. Oh, and, Losa. He's, my elf friend. We were all there, and we're sitting around, and at the tavern. We're having a good old time. It's a monolith. See? It started vibrating, and I picked it up, and I'm like, oh. Weird. Anywho, we're sitting there, we're playing cards, we're having a nice snack, and we're having a bit of wine. Well, I had water because it was hot, and the rest of them were drinking. and so I had some water and a bit of a juice. You know, I had some, as they say, new. It's juice. To you, it's juice. I had a bit of apple juice. No, not apple juice. It was grape juice. Good stuff. They find it weird. Like, why do you drink it that way? It's like, it tastes good. It's refreshing, especially when I cool it down. So we're sitting there, we're having a good time, having a good conversation, playing a game. You know, played cribbage. Dead Man's Tongue. It was another game we played when we were there. Giant Toe, which is kind of similar to your Go Fish. You know, games like that. So we're sitting there, we're playing blah 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 blah. Then all of a sudden the door bursts open, and in walks 3 huge orcs. Now these guys have been through something. They were huge. They were probably each of them at least 6'5". These are big guys. I mean, Unlak, he's about 6'4", so he's a little not short for an orc by any means. But these guys were just massive, and he's sitting there. He's like, "Huh?" He's like, "What's cool?" You know, I gotta get how he sounds. He's like, you know, the tusks. I don't really have tusks, but I'll jet the jaw, so it's good. He's like, what's going on over there? Huh? Fjorn is like, I have no idea. It's the halfling. I'll just go by orc, halfling, and so the orc, he's like, what's going on? And the halfling's like, I don't know. And the elf is just sitting over there like pondering and pontificating like as they normally do. He's like, I have no idea. He's got a weird accent. A human friend, he's like, 'tis a weird thing. Where have they been? And then, of course, dwarf buddy, he's like, I think they just came back from a fight. And we were all like, I guess they did, but we were like wondering what happened with them. They were cut up. I mean, they had cuts, they were bleeding, and they had blood all over them, and I'm sure it wasn't completely their blood, because it's never completely an orc's blood with bloods all over them. So we're like, well, why don't you go ask? You're an orc. Go ask him. He's like, I'm not going to go ask him. And I'm like, why don't you go? They're like, blah, 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 big back and forth. And then Hazel's like, okay. I could do a good impersonation of her. He's like, okay, I'll go do it. That's not how I sound like. Go enjoy your day. She just peeked in through my window. Anyway, so I'll go ask him. She went and asked. They said that they just got into a squabble with some giants. No, I'm like, you guys survived some giants. They said, yeah. Evidently these orcs were a caravan, and giants came after them and stole all their stuff. I'm like, oh, well, that sucks, guys. He's like, so we're too weak. We ended up killing one of them. I said, well, how many were there? There were 4. And I said, you guys managed to kill one of them. I said, just the 3 of you. Yeah. But he said, well, in their voice, well, our friend here, his arm's broken, and I got bruised ribs, and him, he's obviously he's got his, his head kicked in, and he's a little loopy right now. So we'll pay anybody here, a group, 500 Cygnas if you could get our stuff back. And we're all looking at each other. I'm like, if there's any adventurers in here that can help us, we'll gladly pay you 500 Cygnas. Now, 500 Cygnas is nothing to sneeze at. Now, this was 500 Cygnas in gold. So, yeah. It varies: gold, silver, copper. So, we're looking a lot of money here. I'm like, I looked at everybody, and all of us have a skill that we can do. I mean, the orc, he's good, really good with an axe, and you got the dwarf. They're all warriors in some way, shape, or form. You got the elf who's good with the bow, and you got the halfling who's like a stealth kind of guy, and you have the dwarf who's good with an axe and a hammer, and then you have me being the wizard. So we're all sitting there, and we're all huddled up. We've gone on adventures before. And the human, who's really good with a sword. He's really good with a sword. It's amazing how good he is. I already told you their name, so pay attention earlier. So then, as we're all huddled and talking, Hazel just sort of pops up in the middle. She goes, so what are we going to do? I'm like, you want to go? She's like, yeah, I want to go. See, I told you I could do her voice. She's like, yeah, I want to go. Well, what skill are you good at? And all of a sudden, this little woman takes out these 2 daggers. All right? And she walks over to this stump that is there for an end table. It's there, and she just goes, and she makes a bear out of wood right there, that fast. We're like, yeah, you can come. I mean, she ain't gonna be able to get high up there unless the orc throws her. But there's definitely going to be some giant toes that are going to be carved up bad. And you carve up a giant's toes, and they're just on the ground. So we're like, all right, good. You guys go get your armor. I walked over to the orcs, and I said, we'll do it. My friends here. We'll do it. And they looked at us. They're like, okay. I said, if you screw us over and you don't give us the Cygnas, you will have the king of these lands on your butt. We're like, whoa, why is that? I said, you see these? And then they're like, you're the royal wizard. I'm like, yes, I am. I said, so, I said, we don't want any more. We don't want any less. 500 is in gold is fine. That's what you said, right? They said, yeah. I said, all right. I said, so where was this? They said about 5 miles up the road. So we hopped into my cart, driven by my Drakes, and we were there in minutes. Because Drakes. Thinking of my Wyvern that I just got. Oh, my Wyvern. Dokkan. He's really good. He's a good boy. But, so we hop into my cart. All of us could fit in the cart, and pulled by my Drakes, and we were there in 10 minutes. Just 10, 15. We were there. And we're sitting there, and we're looking around. And sure enough, there was a bit of pottery broken and stuff like that. And they took all the stuff that mattered. You know, the food, the weapons. Because these orcs were coming in to sell. You know, they were caravans, so they were coming in to sell in the thing. So, the one thing about giants, they leave a trail no matter where they go. Meaning, yeah, they make some good impressions in the ground. You know what I mean? You know, footprints like this. I mean, you know, when you're 12, 14 feet high, you're gonna make some prints in the earth because you're gonna weigh a lot. So I undid the Drakes and hid my cart. And, the Drakes followed us, of course, extra protection. I mean, come on, they're my babies. They're with us, and we're following the trail. The trail was not very far. Well, it was far, but not too far. It was probably going through the field. Oh, yeah, another 2-3 miles. We found this huge cavern. Went down, sloped. It's sort of in the ground, out of the ground. You know, it looked like just a huge rock, but it had a hole and it went down further. So we went down it. And sure enough, coming to this one room in there, that big area down there, and a little waterfall in there, and there's all the loot and more loot besides that. So, but there was no giants in the thing, so they went off somewhere, probably to get food or hunting. And we're like, we're gonna ambush them. So we got on top of the rock. We're waiting for them. But we had to, but they saw us anyways, because, you know, lay on top of the rock when you're 12 feet tall. So they were like, oh, what are you doing? We're like, oh, we're just enjoying the sun. What are you doing? And then all of a sudden the elf is like, wah! Shoots an arrow in one of their eyes. And he's like, ah! Ah! And I'm like, oh, we're getting started. And of course the dwarf runs and sinks the axe right here into one of their arms, and he's holding on, he's flying around. And the orc gets down there and starts busting their knees with his axe, and hammers are flying, and the giant's clubs are swinging, and I'm there shooting fireballs and lightning bolts and directing large boulders up in the air and hurling them at them. And the halfling is running by and cutting the bottom of their legs with his 2 short swords. You know, getting into their tendons, like, meh. And then here's little Hazel sitting on the rock. I'm like, oh, you want to join in? And she's like, okay. So she goes and leaps at this, jumps on their face, one of the giant's faces. All right, and just starts carving up his nose. By the end of it, he had no nose. It was just gone. It was gone, and he just. Oh, I'm so sorry. Ugh. Yeah. Ugh. Get myself worked up here. Okay. So, eventually we killed him. It took a while. Boy, did it. You could stab a giant about almost all day and they're not going to go down. But they kind of did go down after a while. Because, when you run up behind a giant and you're, a halfling and you got a bunch of other people distracting them up there, and the back of your heel, right there, that one area that kind of keeps you up. In your world, you call it the Achilles tendon. Oh, that was better. Yeah, he just went in there and he's just like cutting that all up. Slash with his two small short swords. And they fell because they couldn't get up. So they're on the ground on their butts. They're like swatting. And here's the dwarf. It comes up and he takes his hammer. The hand's coming down and he whacks this giant's hand and breaks his hand. So the giant's like, ugh. You think, oh, we're cruel for doing this to these. No. Apparently these giants have been doing this for quite some time, causing a lot of trouble. So, and not only just stealing stuff, but they've killed people to take the stuff. So, we just couldn't find them. Well, we found them. Like, why didn't you just... Well, most guards and stuff don't want to go after giants, but we did. Anywho. We eventually killed them. All three of them. So we loaded up all the loot into our cart. I had to do a multiplier spell because it needed 2 carts. So I ended up hitching that cart and the duplicate cart, which wouldn't last very long. It lasts about a few hours, and it wasn't going to take that long to get all that loot loaded up. We loaded it all up, hooked the drakes up, which was no problem for them to pull that cart at all. And we just took off and went back. And we brought all the loot. The first cart was piled in with their stuff. So they thanked me and they went about their way. But the other cart was our loot. It was all the rest of the stuff. I don't know who it was, whose it was, but it was ours now. So, we got some nice stuff out of the deal. We divided it up, and we're like, yeah, some nice weapons and stuff like that. And hold on, I'll show you something. I just gotta go get it. That's over here. Let me show you. I took this from one of the giants. Just to show you how big this one of the axes they had in clubs. Now the bottom of it broke off. Part of the pole broke off, so I had to grind it down. But this is one of their hatchets. So I took this as part of the loot. Look at this thing. It's hefty. Sheesh. I mean, I'm part dwarf and it's heavy. You'd have to, let me see here. Okay, alright, there, I got a feel for it now. Look at this thing. Heesh. I think I might repurpose it for just... You could... This is like a guillotine, as you would say in your world. You know, chop, choppy, chop, chop. What I found, and it's new. It's going to go right along with the rest of my weapons. You know, with headache and migraine, the two. So yeah, I got this baby. Look at that. I can put my face in it. This thing's big. Ah! Ow. So, it's a little heavy. This is still one of my favorites. Anyways, so that was the little adventure that I had day after the stream. I wouldn't have did it till morning, but that would have been today. But the days are longer here in Voth because it's summertime. And I knew it wasn't going to take us very long, but, So let's, that was some of my adventures that I've had. I'm not going to tell any from my youth. Other than I had a talking dog at one point. Yep. Talking dog. He wasn't a real dog. He was a guy that got turned into a dog. He was a human. And he got turned into a dog. I didn't do it. My grandfather didn't do it. Some sorcerer did it to him. Some jerk. And he told me, he's like, yeah. He lived as long as humans. He didn't age like a dog. He aged like person, which really worked out for him. he told me that when I got him, or found him, he was 25 years old. I was, at the time when I got him, I think I was 14. Well, he was 25, so he was still a very young guy. He's like, he's like, I'm just walking along here on the islands, and he's like, all of a sudden, this guy in a purple robe, he just goes, ha ha! He just pops up out of the bushes and goes, a dog you'll be! And he turned me into a dog. I said, is there any way? My grandfather's a pretty talented wizard. I mean, you want to turn? He goes, you know what? He goes, it really isn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, I eat what I want. He says, I walk around. He says, I really don't have any responsibilities. He said, he says it's very easy to get women. Women? I said, very easy to get women. He goes, yeah. I went, what are you talking about? He goes, oh, not human women. I'm like, oh, okay. I said, but you, he goes, well, I'm not human anymore. I'm a dog. I'm like, okay. Whatever. Floats your boat, I guess, when you're a dog. I said, but how do you keep talking? He says, well, probably this guy wasn't very good. And he's telling me all this, sitting up at the table like this. I mean, this guy used the outhouse. So I didn't have to clean up after him. He says, well, the best thing is, he goes, I don't have to wear clothes. He says, I don't have to wear pants. He says, I can sleep in when I want. He says that I can scratch. I can do, you know, I'm a dog now. I'm good. I'm like, okay. I said, you want to be my friend? He goes, with a kid? I said, you're a dog now. I said, it wouldn't be weird. He goes, you know what? He says, yeah. He says, I could stop hunting, because he was just wandering around like a stray. He says, you want to be my dog? He's like, yeah. So, back to the house, and he was my dog. And he's not alive anymore. I mean, that was over 400 years ago. He lived till he was 95 years old, and he was a pretty old guy when he died. I had him buried on the islands. He's still there, and I put him in a grave. He got a human funeral. So, with all intents and purposes, he was a human. But he was my dog. Good guy. Good guy. He's my buddy. So, that was a little tidbit from my, you freak people out because, you know, talking dog, I mean, well, there's other wolves that talk, but, you know, your standard dumb dog, you know, just bum, 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 bum. Bum, bum, bum. You know, he would start, he didn't bark. That's the thing about him. He didn't bark. He was just, when he was trying to hide out, you know, like, people think that he's just a regular dog. He couldn't really do a bark all that well, so he'd go, ruff, 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 bark, bark, ruff, bark. And at one point, he goes, dog noise, dog noise. He's like, bark, 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 woof, woof, dog noise, dog noise. I went, I said, are you stupid or something? He's like, shut up. They're like, well, your cat was out of the bag at that point. Thing is, he liked cats. Like, no, before he had got turned into a dog, he had a cat, pet cat. And the cat stuck with him, even though he's a dog. So I had a dog and a cat. And the cat liked me too. So, you know, cat couldn't talk, though. I mean, my current cat can. Dog can, but they don't want to do it on camera. Yeah, I have another talking dog, but he wasn't a human. He's a fairy dog, and they talk. So, anyways, yeah, he bark, dog noise. he's that's a goof. All right, it's been almost an hour. So let's read a little bit about the Batman. Alright? Read some stories from Batman Nightfall. Alright. Grab my spectacles. Being 436, kind of need them. Oh, I need a cloth. Hold on a minute. Oh, I gotta grab this cleansing thing here. Okay. There we go. Okay, here we go. Batman. Two soldiers. Hey, what's that? Over there. I don't know, man, but it's coming this way. Halt! Identify yourself. It's attacking! called freedom of madness. Open fire! Right there. It's just a bunch of sound effects. Soldier goes, run! And the guy controlling the robot's like, time to go. Sound effects. And then, wham! And this guy, Bane, who's the villain, he says, 5 minutes maximum. Load all the weapon crates you can. Put them down for get the stingers. So, police headquarters. It's like, this is Harvey Bullock. It's like an ordnance inventory for World War III commish. Automatic assault rifles, anti-personnel mines, mortars, heavy machine guns, fragmentation grenades, and even a few crates of shoulder-launched Stinger missiles. The commissioner says, and the only bright side is that no one was hurt. Montoya. Not after the armory guards ran away from their UFO monster. But something tells me there's still a body count to come, Commissioner. Then you think those munitions were stolen for domestic use, Montoya? With that ammo, Commissioner, I don't know what to think. Bullock. My guess is Nicaragua. Rogue CIA elements. Montoya. But one thing's ready for the bank. That was the whole truckload of mighty exotic weaponry. And right now, it's loose on our streets. Commissioner, yes, but in those hands... Bane, we start by hitting the violent wards here at the center of the roundhouse. And we follow with the hit on the main security here. I think he's Spanish. Yeah, he is. I've read these before. The first hit will be relatively light. I don't want to do stereotypical, like, the first hit be stereotypical, right? You're doing that. First hit will be just enough to breach the roof and a few of the cells, but the second hit will be heavy, taking out security and sealing out your corridor between the administration and the inmates. He's sitting there, the guy has a hawk on his hand. We've certainly got one of his henchmen, and we've certainly got the firepower for it. But which cell do we open first? Who can lead the others? Inspire them to his own violence and madness. The other guy with the hawk on his arm says, I think I may have a suggestion, Bane. And I believe he's a real riot. And we all know who that is. Not me. Of course, it's Joker. The instant laughter alone, echoing through the dark steel corridors, is enough to make one doubt their very existence of sanity. And of course, it's the Joker laughing his head off. It's the Joker. Add to that all the shrieks and whimpers and snares and the snares and the whispers, all of the cunning, drooling, garbled incoherence of paranoia and revenge, and one sees that this is not, in fact, an asylum. It is simply unarguably a madhouse. Yeah. Indeed, one wonders. This doctor is writing this down, and it says, and if one is the keeper and controller of such place, does that make one sane, or merely the king of the mad? Indeed, one wonders if madness might not be infectious in a certain sense, a contagion by virtue of its omnipresent influence, so much more vivid and strident than the mundane smothering cloak of so-called normalcy. Wow, this guy likes some 10 signa words, don't he? If so, then surely I have been, in fact, by now, for the laughter and shrieks, the canny gasps from the gloom, and the voices which I live here in Arkham, here in the madhouse of my making. They have become my world, echoing down steel corridors to enter my mind, where they echo, now even louder, clamoring to get out, real short. This guy's cutting hair. I want it off, out of my way. You got it. No, I don't know. Not yet, but I will get it. Okay. Somebody's cutting somebody's hair. Oh, it's Robin cutting this guy's hair. I think it's another different superhero. I don't. You know, you're getting too intense for me, Jean Paul. Or Jean Paul. Acting like you don't even need your specs anymore. Any contacts work better. Contacts work better. All right. Less to worry about. Yeah, sure, no need to get so. Just cut the hair, Robin, so we can get on with my workout. After what Killer Croc did to me, it's time to get tough. You're certain that's his cell. Positive, Bane. Third unit in the Violent Lord. Got it from the same former guard we paid off to acquire the blueprints. And even if the shot's not perfect, you're bound to breach one of the violent cells. I'll make it perfect. Nitro's ready. Now, Bane! Bam! The balloon. It was in a balloon? Boom! It exploded the cell. What the? Orderlies! The doctor. Joker says, the sky is falling? Yeah, and then he sees the doors open and all the stuff's on the ground. And Joker goes, yes. And the doctors and the orderlies are ready. He goes, hurry! And they're running towards. And bam! He picks up a gun, a shotgun. I don't know why he picked up a shotgun and shot it with one hand. Like, boom, boom, boom. Hello, God. Goodbye, meat. And then, whoosh, Bane shoots a bazooka. And kabroom! More explosions. And then the Joker runs over to the controls to open up all the other cells to the violent inmates. And he says, "Once open sesame, because it's time for the inmates to run the asylum. Besides, we may need the space for a new patient." And all the crazies start coming out of their cells. Free! We're all free! And he starts shooting at the guards and killing the guards. And all the others are all like running around. There's a crazy redhead. I wonder if that's Poison Ivy. No. One of the guys, the guy that had the hawk on his arm, says, "Okay, Bane, Zombie and Trog are lifting off in the chopper." And then another missile launches from Bane and hits the wall. Kaboom. Oh, I'm so sorry. Ugh. I don't know what. Ugh. I think I got some indigestion. And then the Joker walks in where the doctor's laying. He goes, "Greetings, Jeremiah Arkham. And welcome to the madhouse. Your cell awaits." And of course he's laughing. You're coming out into the yard, Trog. This is one of the guys that's in the helicopter. "Drop the presents. Crates going out now. Gunnins! Guns!" The crazies. Or they would go, "Gunnies! Oh, gunnies! Ooh, gunnies!" You know who I'm talking to. Zombie says, "Zombie to Bane, presents delivered. But the state police have arrived, entering the grounds now. Still, it should be a fair fight now. It'll be more than a fair, Zombie. Fair more than fair. My God. What's happening out there?" Joker says, "Someone regards your new security with contempt, Jeremiah Arkham. So one finds amusement in the notion of madness, boiling, scampering from these walls. But none shall we talk. But now, shall we talk?" Bullock at the roof of the department. "He ain't showing yet, huh, Commish?" "Not yet, Bullock. But you sent the tactical units to back up the state police. They're on their way. And our new mayor unfortunately requests your at his mansion now. Figures probably about the armory theft and all those weapons in the hands of those lunatics. It sure ain't about the color scheme of his office. All right, shut it off, Signal Bullock. Give up on the Batman commish. Giving up on the Batman commish. With any luck, he's already headed about to Arkham Riot halfway there. 78, 79. The bat signal. But it's just went out. I wonder what. Wonder what. '82, '83. Robin, here's what's... I'm upstate, almost at Arkham. You stay in Gotham. Arkham? But if you're still sick, so what kind of... barely got out of bed? Maybe you should have some over and out. More push-ups? Yeah, and let another put down. Yeah, and yet another put down. Batman gets a glider. Puts it on. So when do we get return fire? Maybe never. As long as they got hostages in there. Joker. In place of our madness, Jeremiah, you gave us restraint and called it a product of your sanity. But how sane do you feel now, Jeremiah? Now that you're restrained. What's that? Just a bat. Biggest bat I've ever saw. More like a Batman. You're crazy. He can't fly. Well, he can't, but... He's here, but he'll never stop them. He's here, but he'll never stop them. Don't be so sure, Bane. I've seen the Batman pull off some mighty... Your Gotham experts in the bird is whatever. I think whatever, something about a bird. But I know this man. I have been close to him. I've smelt what he is. He smelt Batman? Even if he could stop them, he won't. He will choose to choose the saving of lives over the apprehension of killers. Dead. He always does. And he's for the police. They never had a chance. Hey, it's the cavalry. About time. Hey, it's Two-Face. Well, we'll continue this later. I'll just make a little oofty-doo there. And we'll continue next time. So, I can only read so much, then I get to a certain point that I'm, like, basically getting bored, so I stop. So, it's just how my mind works. Anyways, people, it's been... hour and 15 minutes of me rambling. So, I'm just gonna say this: you all have a good night. You all have a great evening, night, to morning, wherever you are in the world. Have a good breakfast, have a good dinner, have a good lunch. Just have a good time. So, I am Billiam Roomgall Yellowhammer, also known as Dollar Bill 84, and I will see you tomorrow. Wait, no, I won't. Tomorrow's Friday. I won't see you tomorrow because it is Thursday. So I will see you Saturday. All right? Maybe later on this Sunday. Maybe. I don't think so, but maybe. So, have a good night. Have a good day. Have a good morning. And yeah, I don't really have an ending tagline. Oh, also. Okay. Have a good day, have a good morning, and remember, never deny an impressive fart.